Hello and welcome to Postdoc Chronicles week number 31, which, like I mentioned last time, will also be the final Postdoc Chronicles for the year 2018. So tomorrow I'll be flying back to the Philippines. So actually, I just finished packing up. But yeah, before I get into the Postdoc Chronicles, let me tell you a very funny, things that I do to myself personally. So I've been doing this since MS. Okay, so basically, when back in when I was still taking my masters at UP Diliman in the Philippines, so I think 2009, 2010. So I actually like bought like a toy from a toy store somewhere. I believe in Guadalupe. Okay, so there's like a mall there, and then I found a pack containing like five like insects. Okay, and so what I do is every time like I go home to pack my bag, so inside my bag where all my clothes are located, I actually like hide these guys randomly, and every time I pack up I always forget that they are there. Okay, and so yeah, it's very scary. Like for example, this guy, yeah, the sorry, this spider guy. Okay, like every time like I pack my stuff and then I see this, I'm like, whoa, right. So it always surprises me, and then I remember, yeah, that's right, yeah, I always put them, and then yeah, I always put them back, and then every year they always scare me, and yeah, it's really funny. So it's like a big huge ass black spider, and then I don't know, like I think there's a fly, and then this one, yeah, maybe some beetle, and then a huge ant and a grasshopper. Okay, so personally, I'm not afraid of a grasshopper, but yeah, these guys, especially these ones, they look they really surprise you because they're like these guys, they're like close to their original color of the real one. So yeah, it really surprises me every time. Yeah, but anyway, so I packed up most of the things that I'm bringing home are physics books. So as you can see, my library is gone, so the only thing left there is only two books, which I'll be bringing when I finally come back home to the Philippines for real. Okay, after my postdoc is done, and the books that I left are the Quantum Field Theory by Peskin and Schroeder, because I'm still reading that one, and of course David Griffith's Introduction to Elementary Particles, which is very basic, but still I love reading that book. Just to digest this subject that I'm gonna be supposed to be an expert in the future. Yeah, so I left that one. So I packed my stuff, and yeah, hopefully most of them are booked, so the limit is like 23 kilograms per luggage. We are allocated two pieces, but usually I only bring one piece because it's a hassle. But just in case it goes beyond 23 kilogram limit per luggage, I do have an extra bag inside of it. So when it's more than 23, then I just take it out and then transfer some of the stuff in the smaller bag so as to redistribute the mass. Okay, so I don't think it will like go over 23 times to 46 kilograms. Okay, but yeah, so I just came from the conference in Kruger last week. The conference just concluded, and it was really a very nice experience for me. My first international conference in particle physics, and yeah, the guys there are really experts in the field, like people who are part of these huge collaborations like Atlas, CMS, LHCb, Alice, and so on and so forth. And yeah, you even have guys that will do the upgrading of most of the equipments in CERN, because a lot of the machines there will stop running at the end of 2018 and will be upgraded for 2 years. So for 2 years they will stop taking data for upgrades, and then they'll open again, I think, in 2020. Okay, so that's when the future runs will go. Okay, and yeah, so basically Kruger is like, I'm not sure if it's a city or a town, like 5 or 6 hours drive away from Johannesburg. Initially, I was supposed to be flying there, so I got a ticket. Part of my, so the remaining balance in my part of my grant, I used it to to fly there, but I had to cancel it in the last minute because yeah, Deepak actually asked me, how are you gonna go to the venue of the conference? So I was under the impression that, you know, at the Kruger airport, when I land, I just take the taxi or something. But then when I ask around how much the taxi is going to like the venue, it's insane. It's like how do I estimate it? Around 1,500 rand, so around 6,000 pesos. That's like one way, okay? And I need to, no, I believe it's back and forth, yeah, but still, it's still insanely expensive. And yeah, I have to pay for that from my own money. So what I did is I just had to cancel the flight instead and ask around for people who are driving there and to, you know, hitch a ride with them. So fortunately, I asked Deepak. His ride is full already. It's my fault because, you know, I got the ticket instead of like asking him to join him in that ride. And then I asked Alan, it's already full. And then he referred me to Will. Okay, and I've known Will earlier, but I haven't met him personally prior to last week. Because when I was processing my funding going to CERN, he's actually the guy who does the processing, and he's the head of, I believe, the theory group in the University of Cape Town. And so he flew from Cape Town to Johannesburg, and then from Johannesburg, his plan was to drive all the way to Kruger. He still had some space there, so yeah, I rode with him with two of his, I believe, PhD students. And then yeah, I was really surprised because when we were corresponding via email with each other, he doesn't have any picture in his like email account. I imagined Will Horowitz to be like some old dude with white hair, even older than Alan. But then when I met him in the airport, I was really surprised. So he was like, he was relatively young, and then he had a long hair. He looked actually like a rock star, you know, wearing a black T-shirt and stuff. Yeah, such a cool guy. So I told him, I always thought you were an old dude. Okay, so yeah, so it was nice. So I rode with him, and yeah, we arrived like I believe Sunday night. There was like a welcome dinner, and the nice thing about the welcome dinner, although it really rained very hard. There was like a band that played some sort of like South African folk songs, and which is very good because yeah, folk metal is my favorite subgenre of metal, and every time I hear some folk songs, especially, you know, incorporating some the folkish sounds of various countries, I always imagine it to have, you know, some heavy metal riffs in the background. So these guys, they were playing some South African folk songs, and then in my head I was trying to put what heavy metal riff would go very nicely along with it. And also very amazing is they also played a tune in the from the Lion King. I forgot the title, but basically the "In the Jungle, the Mighty Jungle," that tune, which of course everyone else there knew, and it was very nice. So at the end of this video, I'm gonna show a clip of the some songs that they have that they played, and then the Mighty Jungle song from Lion King. Yeah, after this Postdoc Chronicles, I'm gonna show these video clips, and then yeah. So basically, Monday was the beginning of the conference, but my talk was like Tuesday. So Monday night, Deepak and I met, and then also I emailed Jong for some final comments about my slides. And then Deepak and I met for his final revisions to the slides, and then I was able to present the next day, Tuesday. And yeah, it was a good presentation. And yeah, there was a question where yeah, I think Deepak really got bothered about that question. But yeah, we're still thinking about it because the plan is after this talk, early next year, and in fact during the Christmas break, I'll begin to, you know, convert that talk and the results that we have into a some sort of publishable paper. So I'm gonna do like some sort of outline during the Christmas break, and yeah, and hopefully be able to share it with Deepak and Jong, my two supervisors, which would also be obviously my co-authors in this paper if hopefully it gets published eventually. Okay, and then yeah, on the third day, I believe, was the excursion in the morning of the Kruger conference. So we went to this safari known as Kruger. If not the largest, I think one of the largest like protected safari area or sanctuary in South Africa. It's way bigger than the Pilanesberg that we went to like months ago. Okay, and but the thing is, my experience in Pilanesberg is, at least personally, was is actually better than the one in Kruger, even though I paid more for that Kruger. And of course, obviously, I think the reason is because Pilanesberg is a smaller sanctuary, and we toured that place basically for 2 days. So basically a very dense, small, concentrated area, and then you tour it for a longer time. Then there's a bigger chance of seeing all of the animals instead of Kruger. It's a very huge place, and the lineup of animals is really good. But the thing is, since it's very huge and we only have like one morning to tour it, so we didn't. I've seen more animals in Pilanesberg than I did in Kruger. But of course, I did see some animals there for the first time, like the leopard and the cheetah. And again, the clips from the footages of the videos I've taken in that trip, I'm gonna show at the end of this Postdoc Chronicles. Okay, and yeah, so basically I prefer taking videos instead of photos because for me personally they contain more information than a picture. But yeah, that's just me. Okay, we can argue all day that a picture also contains 1,000 words. But yeah, but anyway, so that's that. And then Thursday and Friday, basically the conference just proceeded, but Will and our group who drove towards Kruger had to leave in the first half of Friday because his flight was, I think, in the early in the evening. So we drove back, and then yeah, basically I arrived back here earlier actually than compared to when I if I had taken that flight going to Kruger. Okay, but yeah, and then basically after I arrived here, what I just did is took the books that I'll be bringing back home from campus here, and then also printed the tickets and also withdrew some money that I'm gonna convert, and then basically eventually in cash to Philippine peso when I arrive in the Philippines. Okay, but yeah, so basically that's my Postdoc Chronicles. Anyway, the video game I'm showcasing here in the background, this is known as Full Metal Furies. This is a beat 'em up co-op game, but you can play it single player, and it's really hard if it's solo. But it's very good because it's not focused on mainly on beat 'em ups. You can play it that way, but yeah, there are like puzzles there, like comparable to like Fez or games like that. Yeah, it's really cool with some riddles and stuff. And also the nicest thing is this game right here is from the guys who made a very addicting game that I played for a long time on my PS Vita, which is the Rogue Legacy. So it's a roguelite Castlevania basically, and it's a very addicting game. Okay, but yeah, so that's my Postdoc Chronicles, and again, I wouldn't be able to do Postdoc Chronicles during the Christmas break, so I'll be back for the Postdoc Chronicles week number 32, January, because I'll be back here January 15 or 16. Yeah, and then tomorrow is my flight, December 10. I arrive in the Philippines December 11, and then I go back to my province December 19. Okay, and then back again to Manila, to the capital, I believe in January 6th, and then back to Johannesburg in January 15th. So that's my schedule for my Christmas break. Okay, and again, I won't be doing any chronicles because yeah. So one of the main reasons is that the internet, like especially in my province, is really very limited, and I can't upload like videos like this to YouTube because of this is like typically more than 1-2 gigabytes, and even if I just use like data, we don't have like internet connection at home, so 1 gigabyte of data is very costly. Okay, so that's the main reason. But yeah, I'll be back next year, and I hope you have a good Christmas break and New Year. I had a lot of fun during my first, like, how many 31 weeks of postdoc here at Johannesburg, and I'm looking forward for next year. So during Christmas break, I still have like lots of things to do in store that Jong asked me to do, and then Deepak, I'm still gonna do the jet substructures for the current work that we're doing. So it's gonna still gonna be busy Christmas break. Yeah, but yeah, it's still I had a good experience. So even though I'm a beginner in the field, I was able to do a presentation in an international conference for particle physics, which is really nice. Okay, but yeah. Anyway, this has been Postdoc Chronicles week number 31, the last for 2018, and like I said, enjoy the following video clips of the band that did the folk song thingy, the South African folk song, and then afterwards some video clips from our safari excursion. Okay, thanks for watching and see you next year. Bye bye and happy New Year.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
They can go for grass, leaves.
If you like, I can go from here, but
They can
you can.
crunch
Okay.
some of the coats in order to balance the diet. So yes, it's one of the ugliest animals that we have. They have a following mechanism. When they walk, they try to follow each other, trying to protect each other.
I see. Yes. In a group, right? So
Yeah, this one they stay in a group. The group controlled by the male, the one that we said is a stallion. Also, there is three types of zebras. There is this one, which is a bachelor zebra. There is a mountain zebra, and also the plain zebra. Yes, all of them usually they look the same, but they're not the same. This one is a bachelor zebra. The stripe is going horizontal. Yeah. But the mountain, they can live plus or minus 300 years. So he's the only one that can live a little bit longer.
They don't get to be the lunch of something else. Is it baby or?
no, it's not baby.
Can you go a bit, yeah, just move a bit further.
Just coming out in a minute. Stay here, you'll come out. There. Whoa. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Just look
that's
at it.
really cool. Let me just
That's awesome.
further. See, move further.
Yeah, it's way different. Got into the
During the day, normally the elephant, that bird we call it a settle-billed stork.
Hey, look at this. It's a warthog, isn't it?
Yeah, very near one.
The warthog sometimes they crunch some of the stones in order to balance the diet. So as you can see, these animals or the elephants over there, they were in the water, yes, also to drink, but to cool down their body temperature. When it's hot, they can do the mud wallowing in order to stimulate their body temperature. So this one side at a time, left and right, forward and backward at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I didn't notice that. It's not alternate.
So giraffe, when normally
I can make it like it.
if it's a fully grown giraffe,
Jesus.
During the night, they don't lay down when they want to sleep. They sleep while it's standing like this to make their they just balance the neck.
Maybe the wild dogs or something, but not the tiger will eat them up in one bite.
Yeah, maybe.
Kijk, er zit daar aan de boom.
Идем сюда, директор. It's the leader, right? Who turned.
Going at the back.
She was trying to threaten us, but this one is task. That's why this one will end up having no task. Also, you can identify that this elephant is a left-handed or the right-handed by checking the tusk.
Oh,
Normally the tusk must be 1.2 long. Also must be sharp in front. So the one that, if you can check, find that one is not sharp, one is still sharp. The one that is not sharp is the side that is using too much. But if we are in the zoo where these animals, they stay in the one place, so that you also going to recognize that, yes, this is the certain elephant that have done wrong things to it. It's where actually you're going to know that.
But he is the leader? Or
No, this is a male one. It's not
male? Okay.
They didn't normally take female because it's a marked player.
Probably she is on the back.
They are coming out of the bush.
As you can see, this one doesn't fight. It doesn't have a bark. Task. Obviously, still belonging to you.
But what happened with his task?
Sometimes they get broken while they're fighting,
Uh-huh.
or maybe while they're taking off the barks.
Uh-huh. He was probably curious, right? Or I don't know.
Sure.
Normally,
Same
the
as
elephants
us.
also they can fight during their mating time. So that it's where they get broken.
So I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.